Hi everyone, we are the Group 8 and we will tackle about the Lesson 8, which is the Literacy Training Program of Nstp Advocacy. The elements of teaching and learning. Principal elements of teaching and learning. The first is the teachers. Teachers serve as a prime mover of the educational field. Learners are key participants in the learning process. And number three, a conductive learning environment provides essential features and ingredients in guiding the processes and methodologies needed for a smooth linkage among the three elements. Professional teachers, a licensed professional who possesses dignity and reputation with high moral values as well as technical and professional competence. He or she adheres to observe and practice a set of moral principles, standards, and values. Personal attributes. Teachers are judged strictly than other professionals. Their poise, bearing, and the manner of dressing create a stunning and attractive appearance. Their facial expression communicates a friendly and amenable disposition. Some outstanding personal qualities of teachers. First is passion. This is a compelling force that emerges from one's inborn love for children. This is an overpowering feeling that requires judgmental decisions connected with reformative actions. Second is humor. Humor stands for anything funny, which elicits a smile, laughter, or amusing reactions. The students identify and describe their teachers by the enthusiasm and warmth they enjoy with them every minute. Values and attitude. Values connote standards, codes of ethics, and strong beliefs. Sincerity and honesty are values exhibited in words and actions. Fourth is patience. This refers to the teacher's uncomplaining natures, self-control, and persistence. The teacher calmly endures the students' limitations and difficulties. Enthusiasm. It is synonymous to eagerness and excitement. Teachers should be full of energy, of course, and dynamism that instantly affect the moods and attitudes of the students. And now let's proceed to the learners. The learner is an embodied spirit. He or she is a union of sentient body and rational soul. The body experiences sensations and feels pleasure and pain. The soul is a principle of spiritual sense, the source of intellectual attraction, self-reflection, and free rational volition. The learner is equipped with cognitive as well as the appetitive faculties. Cognitive faculties include the five senses, the instinct, imagination, memory, and intellect. The five senses. The learner is able to see, hear, feel, taste, and smell. By power of imagination, the learner is able to form representation of materials objects which are not actually present to the senses. By power of memory, the learner is able to retain, recall, and recognize the past mental thoughts. By intellect, the learner can form concepts or ideas, make judgments, and reason out. And now let's proceed to appetitive faculties include learners, feelings and emotions, and rational will. The feelings and emotions. The learner experiences the pleasantness or unpleasantness, the satisfactions or unsatisfactions, the pain and joy of an activity. By irrational will. This serves as a guiding force and the main integrating force in the learner's characters of what is good and desirable. There are five distinguishing elements of the learners. First is the ability. The student's native ability dictates the prospects of success in any purposeful activity. Capacity to understand and assimilate information differs in the way learners observe and interpret happenings in their environment. Thus, the learners are generally classified as fast, average, and slow learners, or labeled as high, moderate, or slow achievers. The second is aptitude. The student's innate talent or gift indicates natural capacity to learn certain skills. Exhibit a special inclination for the arts such as painting, crafts, music, and drama. Early recognition of these innate talents or gifts enables learners to flourish and grow. Next is the interest. Learners vary in activities that they do depending on their interests. Example, robust student would pursue athletics. Artistic and stylish students would pursue hobbies that are fascinating. And the fourth is family and cultural background. Students with different socioeconomic background manifest a wide range of behavior due to differences in their upbringing. Student classroom participants are influenced by home training and experiences. And the last one is attitude, an individual's perspective and disposition. A student has a unique way of thinking and reacting. One would react differently depending on his or her personal characteristics. Here are some positive attitudes of the learners. First is curiosity. Students that are eager to learn are curious to know more about the event with endless questioning to get the right information. Second is the responsibility. Students assume duties and obligations and are voluntarily accountable to the completion despite personal constraints. The third is creativity. Students with creative minds are capable of generating their own ideas of doing things. Learning is achieved through their own inventions and novel revisions, thus producing new and improved products. And last is persistence. Persistence is students' sustained interest in a learning activity, not mindful of the extra time and effort being spent.
The learning environment is the place where teaching and learning can take place in the most effective and productive manner. This includes the classroom, instructional features, and the classroom climate, needed in planning and implementing all learning activities. A facilitative learning environment described in 1990 by Pins and Home, as cited in Corpus and Salandan 2003. So first, encourages people to be active. Second, promotes the facilitates the individual discovery of the personal meaning of an idea. Emphasizes the uniquely personal and subjectively nature of learning. Fourth, recognizing people's right to make mistakes. And fifth, tolerates ambiguity. And sixth, foster openness of self rather than concealment of self with emphasis on self-evaluation. And lastly, refers to a place where the people feel they are respected and accepted and permits confrontation. Principles of learning. The learning of our students in our foremost concern. Below are some principles of learning formulated by Pine and Home in 1990. So first, learning experience occurs inside the learner and is activated by the learner. So this learning has to do with something that happened in the unique world of the learner. Then second, learning is the discovery of the personal meaning and relevance of ideas. Learning is a process which requires exploration of ideas, relations to self and community. Third, learning is a consequences of experience. Experience is the best teacher. So teachers should be make sure of experiential learning. Then fourth, learning is a cooperative and collaborative process. Cooperative approaches foster learning. People must learn to define goals, how to interact and apply group arrangements of problem solving. Then fifth, learning is an evolutionary process. Behavioral changes requires time and patience. Learning situation is an evolutionary model of learning characterized by free and open communication, confrontation, acceptance, respect, and etc. 6. Learning is sometimes a painful process. Behavioral change calls for giving up the hold of comfortable ways of believing, thinking, and valuing. 7. The richest sources of learning is the learner himself. Each individual accumulates experience, ideas, feelings, and attitude which comprise a rich vein of materials for problem solving and learning. Then 8. The process of learning is emotional as well as intellectual. Learning is affected by total state of individual. People are feeling, thinking beings. When feelings and thoughts are in harmony, learning is maximized. 9. The process of problem solving and learning are highly unique and individual. Each person has his or her own unique styles of learning and solving problem. Then here's the determining the formulating goals and objective. So guiding principles in determining and formulating learning objectives. First, begin with the end in mind. A lesson should begin in a clearly defined lesson objective with a defined lesson objective in mind. Teachers do not lose sight of what they intend to teach. Second, share lessons objective. Which students' lessons must begin with a statement of clarification of objectives. When shared lesson objectives become the personal target of students, thus enabling them to evaluate themselves to the end of the lessons. Third, lesson objectives should involve learning experience from the 2 or 3 domains knowledge, which is the cognitive, skills, psychomotor, and values as effective. Then fourth, on significant and relevant lesson objectives. Fifth, lesson objective must be aligned with the aims of education as embodied in the Philippine Constitution, other laws, and the other vision, mission, statement of the educational institution. 6. Aim of the developmental of critical and creative thinking. 7. For accountability of learning, lessons objective must be SMART, meaning specific, measurable, attainable, result-oriented, and relevant, time-bounded, and terminal. That's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone. So now we are going to discuss our last module, Lesson 8 Literacy Training Program of the Nstp Advocacy. So before we start, let me first introduce myself. My name is Edlin B. Marquez. So I'm the third reporter from this module. So my topic is about module on lesson planning. So we are discussing this topic now. So the definition is the lesson plan is the teacher's blueprint. It is the teacher's indispensable tool. Busing 1952 explained that a lesson plan indicates a listing academic targets that need to be achieved through various daily activities facilitated by a teacher. It is a means of acquiring desirable habits, attitudes, and skills that will lead to the social and personal development of the individual. So, ang lesson planning po ay isang paraan kung saan ang isang guro ay nagplaplano o nagdesisyon kung ano ang ituturo, kung paano ituturo, at kung anong mga materyales ang gagamitin sa isang particular na araw o linggo. Ito ay mahalaga dahil ito ay nagbibigay daan para sa maayos na epektibong pagtuturo ng guro na ang mga estudyante ay natututo at nagkakaroon ng positibong karanasan sa pag-aaral. So we have 10 importance of lesson plan. So the first one is a lesson plan that is well prepared will get optimum result. So ito ay nangangahulugan na kapag ang isang guro ay naglalaan ng sapat na oras at pag-iisip sa paghahanda ng kanyang lesson plan. So, dahil maayos ang pagplaplano at nagbibigay daan ito para mas epektibo pagtuturo at pagkatuto. Para ang mga estudyante ay mas magiging mas aktibo at nagpaparticipate sila sa school. So, the second is, a lesson plan must be include objectives, subjective matter, procedures, materials, and evaluating techniques. So, as a future teachers, kailangan talaga natin na sa lesson plan ay include talaga ang mga objectives, mga subject matter, procedures, at mga materials. Ito ang mga technique natin, mga teacher, na para ma-organize natin ang ating lesson plan para sa ating mga estudyante. So, the third is, a lesson plan is to stimulate teachers to be creative enough for seeking what is likely to happen and choosing. So, dito is madaling salita, sa isang lesson plan ay hindi lamang isang gabay sa pagtuturo, kundi isang instrumento na nagpahintulot sa mga guro na maging malikhain at proaktibo sa mga estudyante, hindi lamang bilang mag-aaral, kundi bilang mga individual. So, the fourth is, a lesson plan serve as a guide to the apprentice. Yes, guide na din ito sa atin, sa ating mga student pa lang tayo, as a student teacher, para sa atin, guide na rin ito. Para ngayon pa lamang is mas masanay na tayo. Sumasanay na tayo. May idea na tayo kung paano gawin. So, the fifth is to prevent waste of time for unorganized. So, dito naman is hindi lamang oras ang natitipid, kundi masisiguro rin ang bawat minuto ng klase ay magagamit ng maayos at produktibo. Ito rin ay nagpapabuti sa kahusayan ng pagtuturo at nagdudulot ng mas mahusay na karanasan sa pag-aaral para sa mga estudyante. So the sixth is, a lesson plan parents wandering away from the subject. So like an example, ako bilang isang guro, pagdating sa aking lesson plan ay dapat na mayroong akong malinaw na mga idea kung paano dapat ituro at kung ano ang aking gustong maabot na sa loob ng isang particular na araw. So, 7 is, a lesson plan gives feeling of security. So, dito naman ay halimbawa, ako as student teacher pa lamang is kailangan may confidence ako sa pagsasalita, like sa public speaking, no? Kailangan alam, may confidence ako, like sa harap ng mga estudyante, like pag-i-explain, pag-i-discuss mga lesson, parang ganito. So, may idea na ako about kung paano ko i-handle, no? So, number 8 is a lesson plan enables teachers to learn to be more effective, and good preparation ensures good instructions, no? So, dito ay tumutukoy na ang mga teachers is need more learn para ma-prepared lahat. Like, mga instructions na binibigyan nila sa mga estudyante is in a good way. Tsaka maintindihan ng mga estudyante yung mga instruction na binibigay ng mga guro. So, number 9 is a lesson plan is used not only by teachers but by principals and supervisors is in tracing and analyzing. So, dito naman, ang lesson plan, no, hindi lamang sa mga teachers, pati na rin ang mga supervisors, mga principals, lahat, nandyan talaga ang lesson plan. Kasi part na din talaga to bilang isang nagtuturo. Part na din natin to sa paggawa para magplano na tayo kung anong gagawin natin. Kasi dito, nabibase natin para sa sa student evaluation. So, the last is 10 is a lesson plan may be used by substitute teacher who take over a class. So, dito naman, ang mga gabay ng mga guro para sa kanilang pagtuturo, no? Ito rin ay nagbibigay daan para mas epektibong pagtuturo at pagkatuto. So, ito naman ang part of lesson plan. No? The common part of a lesson plan are as follow. Number 1 is the objectives. Number 2 is subject matter and materials. Number 9 is a lesson plan is used not only by teachers but by principals and supervisors is in tracing and analyzing. So, dito naman, ang lesson plan, no, hindi lamang sa mga teachers, pati na rin ang mga supervisors, mga principals, lahat, nandyan talaga ang lesson plan. Kasi part na din talaga to bilang isang nagtuturo. Part na din natin to sa paggawa para magplano na tayo kung anong gagawin natin. Kasi dito, nabibase natin para sa sa student evaluation. So, the last is 10 is a lesson plan may be used by substitute teacher who take over a class. So, dito naman, ang mga gabay ng mga guro para sa kanilang pagtuturo, no? Ito rin ay nagbibigay daan para mas epektibong pagtuturo at pagkatuto. So, ito naman ang part of lesson plan. No? The common part of a lesson plan are as follow. Number 1 is the objectives. Number 2 is subject matter and materials, procedures, and assignment. So, dito sa objectives are essential to a lesson plan, providing a goal to be attained, giving directions to the class, discussing and deciding what outcome to expect. Object may be a general or specific. So, ang mga objectives ay nabibigay ng malinaw na sukatan sa kung ano ang dapat na matutunan at naaabot ng mga mag-aaral sa bawat aralin. So, we have objective may be general or specific. So, in general, aims objective is usually broad in scope and main objective of a course or subject for a semester. This cannot be attained beyond in one lesson. So, in the specific aim objective is usually attainable in one specific lesson and contributes to the accomplishment of the general aim. Objectives may also be classified as a teacher's or student's objectives. Teacher's objectives are usually serious, mature, and educationally oriented. The student's objectives are not. So the number 2 is the subject matter. It is the unit or topic to be tackled. Source for specific subject matter such as textbooks, references, etc. should also indicate. So ito rin ang nagsisilbing gabay para sa mga guro sa kung ano ang dapat ituro at paano ito ituro sa mga estudyante. So number 3 is the materials. These are the necessary aids to teaching. They include teaching aids and devices such as the flashcards, picture objects like laptop, LCD computers. So, ito mga materials na ginagamit natin like sa pag-demo teaching. Like ako, ginagamit ko like sa pag-demo teaching is I usually Manila paper sa visual aids ko. Pwede rin sa PowerPoint paggamit ng laptop. Ganyan. So, the next is procedure. Very important part of a lesson plan. Ito talagang pinaka-importante. The procedure involves both teacher and students' activities in a detailed plan. There should be varied strategies and methods to be used in the procedure. So, ito ay mga hagbang-hagbang na direksyon kung paano isagawa ang aralin. Ito ang detalyadong plano kung paano ipapakita, ipapaliwanag, at ipapaintindi ang mga subject matter sa mga estudyante. Ang procedure ay isang mahalagang bahagi ng lesson plan dahil ito ang nagbibigay ng istruktura sa aralin. So, number 5 is the assignment. So, the lesson plan is not complete without assignment. Tells what should be done, how it should be done, and why it should be done. Kasi hindi talaga makukomplete yung lesson plan natin kapag wala talaga yung assignment. Kasi assignment is ito yung parang guide natin kung paano kung saan tayo matapos, kung saan na matatapos. So, dito naman tayo sa preparation to lesson planning. So, number 1 is the knowledge, the subject matter. Number 2, knowing the children or the students. Number 3, familiarity with different methods. Number 4, preparation of materials. Number 5 is the understanding of objectives. Meron din tayo mga types of lesson plan. So, these are the types of lesson plans according to the following scholars. So, number 1, N.L. Bossing, 1955. A. The memorize and the written lesson plan. Number 2, R.G. Yoakum and G. Simpson, 1949. Syllabi or outline, unit plans, detailed study guides, memoir-craft workbook, daily plan exercise. Number 3 is the R. Scoring, 1940. Curriculum area subject for the year, unit plan, daily plan. So, a daily lesson plan includes anticipatory teaching, in which classroom activities are written down. So, the classification. Detailed lesson plan. Teachers, writers, the question being asked, and the teacher activity and expect answer under the students' activities. So, ito ay isang uri ng plano na sa pagturo na naglalalaan ng mga tiyak na detalye tungkol sa anong ituturo, kung paano ituturo, at ito ay nagbibigay ng malinaw na direction. So, number 2 is the semi-detailed lesson plan. Omits the student activities, it only contains the lesson procedures. Ito ay nagbibigay pa rin ng direksyon para sa guro, ngunit hindi gaanong detalyado. So, na number 3 is brief lesson plan. Is short than the semi-detailed one. Some parts of the lesson plan are not included. So, ito ang pinaka-basic na lesson plan. Ito ay naglalaman lamang ng mga pangunahing information tulad ng paksa na ituturo, mga layunin, at hindi ito gaano na detalyado kumpara sa dalawang unang nabanggit. So, at yun lamang po. Maraming salamat. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. Smart objective. So, specific answer the question. So, what is to be done? And describe the result of the work to be done. The description is written in such a way that anyone reading the objective will most likely interpret in the same way to ensure that the way it is described is observable. Observable means that somebody can see or hear, physically observe someone doing something. So, specific. Objectives and standards should let employees know exactly which action and result they are expected to accomplish. So, for example, specific. Example as evidence to support their general claims or arguments. Example can also be used to help the reader or listener understand unfamiliar or difficult concepts, and they tend to be easier to remember. Measurable with measurement. Measurable with measurement, answer the question. So how will you know it meets expectations? And defines the objective using assessable terms, quantity, quality, frequency, cost, deadlines, and corporation. It refers to the extent to which something can be evaluated against some standard. An objective with a quantity measurements uses terms of amounts, percentages, and corporation. A frequency measurements could be daily, weekly, terms of accuracy, format within university guidelines. So, measurable with measurements. Whenever possible, objectives and standards should be based on quantitative measures such as direct counts, percentages, and ratios. So, for example of measurable with measurement. When we said that the toy was about the same length as for crayons, we were measuring the length of the toy. So, achievable. Achievable, answer the question, can the person do it? So, can the measurable objective be achieved by the person? Does he or she have the experience, knowledge, or capability or fulfilling the expectation? It would also answer the question, can it be done given the time frame, opportunity, and resources? These items should be included in the SMART objective if they will be a factor in the achievement. So, achievable. Achievable. The objective or standard should be achievable but challenging and attainable using resources available. So, for example of achievable, so refers to ensuring the set goals is realistic and possible to complete or maintain within the set time frame. So, relevant. Relevant answer to the question, should it be done? Why? And what will be the impact? It is the objective aligned with the SC and D implementation plan and the university strategy plan. So, relevant. Individual goals, objective, and standard should be in alignment with those of the units in the department and support of the university's mission. For example of relevant. refers to making sure the goal itself aligns with values and long-term goals and objectives. And the last, time-oriented. Time-oriented, answer the question. So when will it be done? It refers to the fact that an objective has endpoint and checkpoints built into it. Sometimes a task may only have an endpoint or due date. Sometimes that endpoint or due date is the actual end of the task, or sometimes the endpoint of one task is the start point of another. Sometimes a task has several milestones or checkpoint to another. So, time-oriented. Time-oriented results should be delivered within a time person that meets the department and organization needs. So, example of time-oriented refers to making sure the goal is set within an appropriate time frame. That's all, and thank you.